Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a really powerful Power by trick to share with you. If you've ever been frustrated by how subtotals work in the Power by Matrix visual, basically, if you want your subtotals to show something custom like an average instead of a sum, then this video is going to clear that up for you. By the end, you'll know exactly how to create unique subtotals using a cool DAX function called ISINSCOP. It's a game changer for building reports that are both clearer and a lot more insightful for your end users. Alright, let's jump right in. First, let's quickly talk about the issue. If you're working with a matrix visual and you just add in a typical measure like sum of sales, Power by will automatically give you subtotals. But here's the catch, those subtotals just repeat the same calculation logic as your detailed rows. For example, if you have subcategories under categories, the subtotal at the end just sums everything up, which might not actually be what you want. Sometimes you want the detailed rows to use one calculation, say total sales, but the subtotal level to show something like the average instead. That's where DAX and a little bit of creativity come in. So step 1 is to create your base measure. Open up the data pane, find the table you're working with, maybe it's your sales table, and right-click on it. Choose New Measure. Now the formula you use will depend on your data, but for the sake of example, let's call this measure total sales. Make sure the formula you write lines up with your actual field names. For instance, if your sales column is called amount, write sum amount. I'll include a template in the description so you don't have to scramble. Once you have your base measure, you'll use it as a foundation for the next step. Step 2 is where the magic happens. We're going to create a new measure specifically for the unique subtotal logic. Again, right-click your table in the data pane and select New Measure. Here, you're going to write a DAX formula that uses ISINSCOP. This function checks whether you're showing a row at a certain hierarchy level in your matrix, like subcategory. If we're drilled down to subcategory, our measure will just show regular total sales. But at the higher category subtotal level, we can tell Power by to swap in the average instead. Think of ISINSCOP like having a backstage pass that lets you peek behind the curtain. You can see exactly what context the visual is displaying and adjust your calculation accordingly. For example, your formula might look something like, if we're in the scope of subcategory, show the sum, but if not, then show the average. It's a tiny tweak in your DAX, but it totally changes how intuitive your report is for your users. Next, let's put this to work in your report. Insert a matrix visual onto your canvas. Set up your rows with category at the top level and subcategory beneath it. For values, add in both your total sales and your new unique subtotal sales measures. Now, as you look at the matrix, you'll notice that while subcategory rows show the sales totals, the category subtotal rows use your custom logic, such as displaying an average instead. It's a neat way to make subtotals really work for you, not against you. Remember, the ISINSCOP trick opens a lot of doors. You could have subtotals show a count, a custom calculation, or really any logic you want. Try it out, experiment a little, and find what makes the most sense for your data. Don't worry if it feels a bit intimidating the first time. With a little practice, it'll start to click. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below if you have any questions or if you've got a different subtotal scenario you'd like to tackle. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy-to-follow Power by tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy data modeling.